So, what do you know about The Legend of Zelda?
I've never played any Zelda game in my life.
Ever?
No, I have.
You've been lying to me
I
for
lied right here.
30
actually.
years? Is that...
I don't know. It's like the way we start these up. So, what do you know? Just catching me off guard. Like, I didn't know there was a question coming.
I don't know there was a pop
See,
quiz.
I like this already. We went back to the Big Bang of the Hyrule universe. Like, we really started at the beginning of the timeline.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
This is actually at the end of the timeline so
This
far.
is at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
Skyward Sword is the first in the timeline.
Well, I knew that, but I didn't know that this was... Oh, does this... You said this is chronologically at the end?
Yes.
Do the timelines reconverge at some point?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, so this is at the end of which of the three?
I believe it's the
Open your eyes.
the hero wins.
Oh, so this is... Whoa, this is after they find New Hyrule
Open
and
your
Spirit
eyes.
Tracks?
I'm guessing so. I'd have to look it up
Okay.
again.
I thought this was in the Fallen
Wake
Hero
up, Link.
timeline. But
Oh, shirtless Link. This is what we've all been
I
waiting
see.
for.
in embryonic fluid.
Oh, he's in the Matrix.
That's... Yeah.
This is actually just a remake of the Matrix.
I see. Now, why does he happen to have pants? That's convenient.
That's your most pressing question?
Yes, it is.
Shigeru Miyamoto's like, you know what? Matrix. And they're
I
like,
see.
Shigeru, that came out like 20 years ago.
There are a lot of similarities, though. I mean, well, I guess the fact that he's waking up and he's in fluid. But I mean,
I don't like how you said that.
earlier I said embryonic fluid, and I was wondering if that was PG-13 or not. What's with the...
We don't know what an embryo is. Come on.
The design, it looks like tissue from the brain.
An old piece of tissue paper.
Well, yeah. Whoa.
Oh.
Turn that down.
No wonder he can't sleep. There's just lights all over this place. So he's going to wander around in his jammies. Okay.
Man, I hope the entire game goes like this.
What if this is as fast as I can go?
I have no problem with that. What's this?
Guess what he's about to pick up? It's
Oh.
it's a Nintendo
That
Switch.
is a Sheikah slate.
Oh.
Take it.
Yeah, this is Sheikah
I
technology.
feel like we're
Help
going to
guide
have
you
to
after
hear
your
a lot
long
about
slumber.
whatever this is.
You're gonna be surprised, actually.
Oh, okay.
This is all Sheikah technology. So the
no,
Sheikah,
I got that part.
the Sheikah are apparently now like these really advanced race of
What
peeps.
about the advanced technology in Skyward Sword? Or was that a different race?
I've never heard of that game.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. Before we started recording,
Yeah.
we just saw that the Game Grumps are finally doing Skyward Sword.
Oh, are we being current again? Are we talking about other
Yeah, I'm
people?
gonna date the episode. What about it?
What? Why? I'm not picking up these well-worn trousers.
I don't want him to have pants on.
Why was that in a treasure chest?
Oh. Yeah, some treasure. This is, oh, an old shirt. Thanks.
What's
Appreciate
this? Get rid of that.
it. Okay.
Oh!
Oh. Still breaking pots, even in 2018.
That
Hold the
is a
Sheikah
Sheikah
slate up to the
slate.
pedestal. That
Okay.
will show you the way.
Ah, that voice.
What's that little hook that it's on?
I can see that. Oh, that voice.
So this... Why do you hate the voice so
Oh,
much?
these clothes that I'm not wearing.
I'm not...
No, not me. I'm talking about
Oh,
Link.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I was really concerned.
No. Hey, I like that.
That was like the last time I saw him, he had pants on.
I
I haven't-
like not being in this thing anymore.
This is actually... Shigeru Miyamoto is like, you know what, guys? I just read Plato's Allegory of the Cave,
Oh.
and I want... I mean, oh.
I mean, oh. I
That
mean,
must
our
shine
light.
upon Hyrule once again.
I don't like this.
Now go.
That's an edgy opinion, right?
Well, maybe I didn't really give it a fair shot. I mean, how long into it are we?
I don't like a Zelda game.
That's
I don't like a Zelda Grass Tyson game. All right, so
Now where are we?
Brian, we're in Hyrule.
Oh, I see.
This place Hyrules. Okay, so all this,
Yeah.
you can go to it.
Okay, go fight Ganon like that right now.
You actually can
Let's do it.
after the tutorial.
Okay.
I don't think there's any way we're gonna win, but
I'm sure somebody's made a challenge like that.
oh yeah, but even like speedrunners, I think they haven't been able to beat
You gotta go pick something else up.
like a sword or
Yeah.
something. At least put some pants on. Hey, wait.
Oh, I don't like the look of that.
It's an old man.
I feel like it might be somebody in disguise that was once an important person at some point, maybe.
What?
I don't know. No, you see, I'll just say that I know of, like, a few things from this, because being a person who, like, doesn't actively play games at this point, I'll look stuff up, and then I'll just get all the spoilers at once.
Oh, no, you know what's going on?
No, I think I know who that guy is. I think it's who I think it is.
Zelda.
Well, not far from it. I'm assuming. Okay, first of all, I'm assuming if anybody's watching this, well, I don't know. I don't really care. This is a spoiler alert right here. Me saying that I think I've spoiled something. I think that's the King of Hyrule. That's who I think that is.
No, it's Sheik.
Okay. That real? I guess it could be.
Sheik is like really good at. Oh, I beg your pardon. Do you believe that this is my baked apple you're up there?
I don't like that.
Oh, forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg.
I thought about that very literally because his legs
young,
are very
supple leg.
Well, they're very apparent right there.
It's a succulent treat, his leg.
Isn't it though?
Especially over an open flame. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool, and life is a nightmare. This is the old man in the cave.
Yeah, that much I got.
Well, where are we? Answering a question with a question, that is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire Kingdom of Hyrule. It came from this place.
We keep changing the context of the timeline.
Oh, the lore. It's like Miyamoto doesn't care about the lore.
You know, have you ever gotten that impression?
Yes, constantly. With the exception of Majora's Mask, which he didn't even make.
He didn't.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, well then clearly he doesn't care. Somebody else cares about it then.
That was Eiji Aonuma.
I see.
And Eiji Aonuma actually made this game too. Which is why this is also one of the greatest Zelda games.
What about Koji Kondo? Is he in here?
I don't know what Koji Kondo does at this point.
Is he still?
I know that he doesn't really make
sounds.
Well, he doesn't really. I think he's like a consultant.
I see.
Okay, Torch.
Is he still composing?
That's the thing. I don't know. Well, then, just help yourself to that torch there.
That was pretty good.
To set things on fire. That's what I want to do. That is rather unnerving. Please be cautious with that around any dry grass that might catch fire. You know, there are plenty of monsters in this area. That torch could make a good weapon.
If need be.
However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponents and lock your sights on them. Oh, we got the Z targeting system.
Now things are... How did they put it? It's not just on a 2D plane anymore. Now you're very aware where things are. That was a sequel line.
Was that your Ego Raptor?
Yes, it was.
That was a spot-on Ego Raptor.
Hey, thanks. Let me draw this animation with stuff with big eyes to, like, bring out the point where I think everything's weird and bizarre. There, that's my best Ego Raptor right there.
Holy crap. Did you just call him out?
I guess.
On being Ego Raptor?
Yeah.
Take that, Game Grumps. Wait.
Oh,
the Master Sword.
What? Okay, thank you.
Oh,
this is still alive! I thought that thing was gone by now.
So, I'm guessing... Wait, you're not Hetsu.
So this would have to take place after Wind Waker for that.
Yeah, this has got to be in Wind Waker's
They wouldn't have
timeline.
evolved otherwise. And if they did, then that raises even more questions.
Oh, there's going to be even more questions by the time that we get to, there's 2 areas.
What do you see? Don't touch that. It's rusty.
This rusty old sword.
How are you going to get tetanus from that?
Oh, I'm going to get Tetris. I'm going to get Tetra from this.
Yeah, let me draw these big-eyed characters with their bulging mouths, just to kind of, really, really bring the point home. I think everything's weird.
I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why is every voice, Blails?
Yes. You're right,
Without
it is.
fail,
You're right, it is.
Link, what? Wait.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Was Link hearing voices or something?
Crazy dame.
Whoa, nice. Anyway.
Follow the sheep slate. Okay.
I guess when you think about it,
Some map this is.
every Zelda game that didn't have a fairy companion, you're hearing voices in it. Because that's the only way they're able to provide any context for what you're gonna... That's the first thing you're fighting?
This is a Bokoblin.
The cousin of the monster, correct?
Yeah, it's like in the same family.
Well, when we say family, not in the sense that we think of a family, but like a kingdom, phylum kind of a...
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a genus
Yeah,
kind of thing.
okay, well we sure know biology, don't we?
Oh, wow, we named off half of them. King Philip died drinking chocolate
No,
milk.
I think you mixed... Anyway.
Yeah, that's the... No, that's PEMDAS.
No.
Yeah, no, parentheses,
Yeah, but that's not...
exponents,
But those are two different...
multiply,
We're
divide,
talking about two
addition,
different... I'm not talking about this at all.
King
That's
David.
a choo-choo, isn't it? Or just a shoe?
I think it's a... Yeah, choo-choo. Well, this is...
I know my Zelda biology.
Well, this is in the Spirit Tracks universe, so it is a choo-choo train.
Oh, I see what you're doing there.
Anyway.
You see, if they hadn't have built all those train tracks, the apocalypse, which occurred before this game, wouldn't have happened. You know, like, I'm concerned that he's barefoot. Like
a hobbit.
No, like, I'm really afraid he's gonna step on something. Like...
Yeah. He just walked around, it's like, my foot.
No, that's when you know you're old. When you're playing a Zelda game and your biggest concern is, that kid's barefoot. He's gonna step on something.
Oh, yeah. Majora's Mask is our favorite Zelda game, and we're like, yeah, little kid going in the woods, killing everything.
Why am I being spoken for now?
Here we go.
But I would agree, probably. Oh no!
So instead of fighting them, I was smart.
Oh, I see what you did right there. You were able to use your brain
instead of my brawn. Although this is probably this is like the most fit / ripped that Link has ever been.
Yeah, he's looking pretty nice, actually.
He's looking pretty supple.
Excuse me? So what I think... Oh, look at all those rocks. Oh, God. You know what? Like, I don't care how ripped he is. That's... Just to walk on that's gonna hurt.
7.8 out of 10. Too much rocks.
Oh. Well, that thing didn't even fight back. I feel like you're just abusing those things.
Look, they had it coming.
You're just smacking them around.
They were asking for it. Here we go. Alright. So, you looked up spoilers for this game, right?
Yeah, I can't remember a lot of it now.
Well, I just let the record show I am disappointed in you.
Okay. I was gonna just watch the game, but then I figured I could just read the ending instead. That was what I used to do, like, oh no!
Oh yeah, your weapons break in this game.
Oh, how exciting. Oh, now I know that your weapons can break in this game. Oh, why not just go get the royal weapons? Is that what they're called?
It is, actually.
Oh, okay, I thought so.
I was just about to die, so I was not paying attention to you at all.
That's okay. You know, now that I think back, even, obviously this is supposed to have, an open world kind of feel to it. I suppose something along, the Elder Scrolls type feel, but
the Elder Scrolls.
It's interesting to me to think that even in Wind Waker, they had a little of that going where you could pick up weapons that the moblins would drop.
Yeah, this was kind of like the promise.
The graduated, yeah.
This is the graduation.
Yeah.
That was the college dropout.
It gets worse and worse. I don't like any of what you're saying. And I don't like this either.
I did forget that you do not care for Kanye.
Oh, breath. You're lying again.
You just stop it. Why are you saying lies?
No, I don't like that old of the Kanye. I like the old Kanye, but not the old Kanye.
So you are in the you're in the camp that Kanye really started coming to his own in Heartbreaks.
Yeah, 808s is where 808s is the proto dark fantasy in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the stuff before that, you're just like, it was perhaps.
Yes, 100%.
I got it.
The prime between 808s and it ended at the end of Jesus. That's my feeling. Those three albums are...
Yeah, Pablo,
No, I didn't care for it. Have you listened to the new one?
No.
I listened to it once. It's better than Pablo. For whatever that does for you. It's better than Pablo in the sense that Eminem's new album was better than the Marshall Mathers LP too.
Oh,
and I'll say that that album definitely was better than Marshall Mathers LP2. If that gives you any indication.
Would you say that was Eminem's worst album?
I would say that's my second least favorite album.
What's your least favorite album by?
My number one least favorite album, or my bottom one?
Oh, no, I meant out of Eminem.
Out of Eminem, that's his worst album. Marshall Mathers LP2.
Now, what's your least favorite album?
Altogether? Whichever Sublime album Santeria was on.
You're like, I hate it so much, I didn't even bother looking at it.
Yeah, oh no, I actually tried to listen to a Sublime album the other day. Just to say, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And, I couldn't get through it.
It is so fascinating. You really do... You really
Sublime,
don't care much for him.
Sublime encapsulates everything that I dislike about music I don't like.
Fair.
Yeah.
So this is... how much have you seen of this game?
Basically what we're looking at right now.
So only, like, the Great Plateau part?
Yeah, I know... Remember... I don't want to, man. I know that over there is probably something called Calamity Ganon.
For the past 100 years.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Rip Van Winkle, am I right?
When
The
beast
Beast,
gains
I
its
say.
true
I just
power,
made that really
this
learned
world will
reference
face its end.
I don't think it was learned.
to Washington Irving's flat. Was it Washington Irving?
I don't...
Rip Van Winkle?
I actually don't know.
What? Have you... Oh, that's Calamity Ganon.
That's a Calamity Ganon.
Yeah.
He doesn't look very good.
Not Ganon. Calamity
Now
Ganon.
Well, clearly there's a connection.
Which,
You
I think
must
the Game Grumps
hurry
pointed
then,
out, but they were right. Calamity Ganon sounds like Ganon's cowboy name.
before
Nice.
it's too
There,
late.
like, it really does.
I suppose it does.
I mean, suppose. It's spot on.
What about when Ganon was a truck driver?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He has his trucker hat. He went through his trucker hat phase. I'm gonna eat something.
So you still haven't found... Okay, you're just going without clothes, and I have no problem with that, actually.
You know what? We're gonna put
No,
pants on. He has
no,
shoes
no,
on now. He has
no,
shoes
no.
on.
Okay.
He has shoes on. So we're shirtless. We're shirtless, Link.
Oh, God, you're one of those guys who, walks around, you see him walking down the street not wearing a shirt. Not really because it's hot, but just because they know they can get away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, this is my chest.
Yeah.
Was that spot on?
It was, actually.
Thank you.
I don't know, I feel like... Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's right. I played this game before, so I'm just already.
See, I think that's the thing. I think that's why I'm not really into games as much as I once was, because nowadays I'll see people playing something and they're already familiar with it, and I see all that, and instead of oh, okay, I'll become familiar with that as I play, now the feeling's oh, great, now I gotta figure this out. Now I gotta figure out, you just marked something. Okay,
Oh,
let's figure...
no.
And there were
Discovery.
4 different covers.
Cover
Colors.
bands.
Yeah, exactly.
So, oh, no.
Although, again, what I will say is that this does look like the type of game I would have wanted Zelda to be around the time I was 12, 13. I feel like this, I would have really...
Oh!
Oh!
Ho!
Oh!
He is Santa. He's Hyrulean Santa. He's Santa Claus the entire time.
Oh.
But what I love about this,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm on board with the Switch. I know that that's probably a controversial opinion because
Is it?
nobody is on board with the Switch.
Are they not?
Link doesn't say anything, so he's just not going to answer. But this is, to me,
Yes.
this is the best Zelda game ever made.
I think there's... Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
I think A
From
Link
what
to
you've
the
seen?
Past is the worst game ever made. That's a lie. I don't know, from what I'm seeing, already, yeah, I'd have to say there's a valid argument for that.
What I love about this game is it's such a return to form to, the original Zelda game.
Well, see, that... Okay, you know what? Let's just switch to that point. Switch.
Switch.
Let's jump to that point. How did you play through the entire original one? I tried.
I tried, and
Yeah.
it's just so... Playing it, it's obsolete.
Yeah, it's difficult to play something like that now.
It's like I don't... First of all, I'm not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't have all of that time. And also, it's not the only game I own, so I don't have the time to...
I thought you were going to say you didn't have, the suspension of disbelief.
Well, no, I just don't have the time to just
No.
blindly wander around until I bump into a secret that
Yeah.
is completely...
Again, this
hidden,
is the
you know?
this is the better designed version of that. But I'll tell you something.
yes.
When I first played A Link to the Past, I played I don't know if I've discussed this before. I probably have, but I played a file that my dad and my grandma had been playing, so they already found everything. They were already then. They were already then to Ganon. So all the items were there. They had everything. So there was really, me being I'm talking like 3 or 4. All there was for me to do was to like actually explore the game and use everything. I wasn't actually playing the game. I was just touring it.
Bumping into random places.
Right. So then I went back and played it, and to actually find all the items and discover them in their own location and figure out why you got them and what they were used for, it created a whole different experience for me. So I could totally see why you would say this is the best one, because this is really my first experience with Zelda, which was just literally getting out there and exploring the world, So, I mean... yeah, I would have to agree with you. Even though I didn't really play the original, I think my experience with Link to the Past was very much what you were describing.
It was just very frustrating, I think.
Oh, that wasn't what I was saying
for me. I'm talking about for me.
Oh, okay.
It's just it was very frustrating because I had no idea the secrets. You look at those secrets and you're like, oh wow, it's really well hidden. But if you go back today, you're like, how was I supposed to know?
No, I agree.
Where half of these things were?
But I think I think we agree that this. Just this exploring of the land right here.
Yes, it's taking the concept of exploration and building upon it in a practical way.
Did you ever have dreams about Hyrule?
About Hyrule?
Well, no, I mean just any Zelda dreams, but specifically like you go to a place that you never knew about in the game. You know what I mean?
I must have at some point.
I remember one time I had a dream that you could go in the castle, and this is weird because this was I think this was before I'd even played Ocarina, before I knew that they were going to have a day and night aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
I dreamt that the castle from Hyrule and Link to the Past, I dreamt you could go into it at nighttime, and like all the lights were off inside of it. And it was really, I don't know, it was bizarre. Like there were no enemies inside, it was completely empty. And,
so are you saying that you invented Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, it's weird because in that dream, I saw soldiers close the bridge in front of the castle. So, and that is how... Now, that begins in A Link to the Past. In A Link to the Past, the bridge is closed at the very beginning of the game. So, that's what my brain was taking it from. But when I actually played Ocarina and that bridge goes up when the sun goes down, I was like, oh, what? I mean...
It was like, no way.
That was very similar. So, yeah, I invented it. X...
Ruby. This is if you buy the expansion pass.
Wait, is that X or is that like...
EX. Expansion. If you buy the expansion pass,
I see.
There'll be like little
or is that
treasures throughout the world.
Is
basically.
that EX or is that Sigma Chi?
Yeah, there's Greek in Zelda. This is the Greek Zelda.
Is it now?
Yes. Now,
I'm glad I actually said Kai because my brain kept saying Chai, and like I was like, no, is your brain ever forcing you to like?
It's actually Zai.
Yeah,
It's actually Zhonghua. We have to do Dynasty Warriors at some point.
And then when we do Half-Life, I want you to explain to me what every Greek letter means in terms of like physics.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What does lambda mean?
Lambda, that has to do with like frequency or wavelength. No, wait, does it?
So if you turn the radio to the right frequency, you get the universe with all the crazy stuff.
Well, I'd have to look it back up again.
Well,
full disclosure, I may not know what I'm talking about.
What does omega mean? Why is omega always supposed to be so powerful?
Well, it's the end of the alphabet.
Oh, alpha and omega.
Yeah.
So, well, I knew that much, but I mean, why in... Never mind.
I am the alpha male, the omega male. The top and the
just
bottom.
always assumed that, like, in science, that, like, omega, like, would refer to, like, nuclear bombs or stuff like that. Just, like, the be-all, end-all.
Yeah, so they're just like, hey, Nagasaki, guess what? Got a present. Is that joke in bad taste?
No, this is PG-13.
Is it in bad... Okay. Is it in bad taste to make a Nagasaki Hiroshima joke?
Is it in bad taste to make a Titanic joke?
I mean, if you're asking me, no.
I agree. But what were you asking? I wasn't listening.
We're going to name this episode Active Listening.
Yeah.
I think You think that it's like too
Risque.
to make a Hiroshima joke or Nagasaki?
You know, this is weird because one thing I actually remember reading from AP English, was we actually had to read these two articles on Hiroshima, and one was like very reverent, and the other was like just describing the debris that was found. And the one describing the debris was it wasn't like humorous, but it was like more like it wasn't very reverent. It was like, to think that the bomb did this, it was very, I can't think of the word for it, it was, like it wasn't, like, tasteless. I'm not saying it was that, but it was, like,
Right. It was kind of, was it like, when you say matter of fact, or?
No, yes, it was like that, but it was more like,
It didn't-
casual might be the word for
Yeah,
it. It had a very casual tone to it.
It didn't, like, play the tragedy of
No,
it,
it
basically.
didn't. It
Yeah.
didn't. But, I don't know. I really feel like when South Park did the 9/11 conspiracy episode, I feel like that was the first time people could laugh at something related to 9/11,
Yeah.
I feel like I've talked about this too. I feel like we've already talked about all these same topics over and over again. What is this? Talk to it.
It's a mummy.
Okay.
That's a Sheikah monk.
I'm tired of all the Sheikah business.
Well, I got some bad news.
Now, was that hateful just now? Was that politically incorrect of me to talk about the Sheikah like that? Yeah. Yeah.
After all they've suffered,
Yeah.
I just gotta tell you, Brian, there's
Yeah.
120 of these shrines in this game.
Do you think the Shadow Temple in Ocarina of Time is full of dead Sheikah?
If not-
Specifically Sheikah.
Well, if not there, then where else?
Exactly, because that graveyard was supposed to be protected by the Sheikah. I don't know. Everything's supposed to be protected by the Sheikah, but you never see them.
Well, how do you feel about Link desecrating a graveyard?
I don't know. I never really thought much of it because in like Link to the Past, you did that, but like it wasn't developed enough to really feel like what you were doing.
Mm.
In Ocarina of Time, you were very aware you were in a cemetery at that point, so it became a little
Yes.
more. You know what I mean?
Very creepy, too.
Creepy.
Creaky. The Skulltula house.
Were you
Oh!
scared of that
Oh!
graveyard? Oh no, not this again.
Well, I actually played Ocarina of Time in earnest when I was in 6th grade.
And you kept skipping the Shadow Temple.
I didn't like it.
It is kind of scary.
It was creepy.
What in your mind is the scariest part of the Shadow Temple?
Everything.
If you had to pick one part.
It's the music.
Really?
I mean, the
Interesting.
music's very unsettling. Koji Kondo did an amazing job.
Apparently, it's Kondo.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I'm gonna buy a condo and a timeshare and just go to Florida so I can be away from your shenanigans and your judgment.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Well, I'll say this.
Yeah.
When did you first play Ocarina of Time?
I guess I was like 7 or 8. Why?
What did you first think about it?
I didn't like it at first, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah, it took me forever to get out of the forest, and I didn't like that I was stuck in the forest. I wanted to go explore a little more. Now, when I got to Hyrule Field, I thought it was great, but
I was kind of along the same lines, actually.
yeah, I didn't like the Deku tree. I didn't like that or the Deku tree. I didn't.
It's Kondo. Thank you. I'll say this.
I didn't like the Dooku tree.
The Sudoku tree.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like the tree.
I get it. Well, I got good news then.
The fish.
The fish? Try traveling to the top of the tower. Yeah. Bye. I actually played Ocarina of Time for like 8 minutes in a Walmart.
Yeah.
Whenever when they had those display
Yes.
cases, and it was like in the middle of the Great Deku Tree,
Ah,
and I played it for a little bit. And I'm like,
this is the worst game ever made.
yeah, I'm like, no, I'm good. And so I just didn't play it.
I actually think the Deku tree is Oh wait, you played Majora before Ocarina, didn't you?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Wrap your mind around that.
What made you want to play Majora?
Because it was awesome. Because I played it in a Toys R Us.
Okay, and what part of it did you play?
The entire first cycle. I was like
Wow.
in that Toys R Us for a while. And my mom was like, "We gotta go," and I'm like, "I gotta finish this."
Is that why they ran out of money? Because they allowed you to play it for so long? Toys R Us?
No, it has nothing to do with Amazon.
Oh. If they had charged you to play it that long, would it still be in business?
No.
Okay.
I actually didn't play Ocarina of Time until I pre-ordered Wind Waker
Okay.
on the GameCube, and if you did that, you got the
that's right.
Yes, you got
That's right.
the collection of the Master Quest Link to the Past thing.
And you're saying that even then, you still couldn't bring yourself to finish the Shadow Temple.
I beat the Spirit Temple first. I actually,
You went in the Shadow Temple long enough to get the boots.
yeah,
and then
to
you
get the
got
boots. Yeah, so if anyone, speedrunners already know, but if you just legit don't want to do it, you can just go into the Shadow Temple,
Yeah.
get the hover boots, and finish the Spirit Temple.
It got to a point where, like, I would do that a little bit. Like, I'd get the treasure and just go to another temple just to see what would happen. And I was like, this is stupid.
Oh, we're gonna put the ball in the cup.
Excuse me?
Ah! Oh, I cupped it.
You did.
Wait.
Wait, there it is. Well, oh no, what? Oh, not this again.
I love these guys.
I love them too.
How much do you love them?
I do.
Do you like to share with the class, Brian?
I don't know, would you?
I don't want to call you out or anything.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh no, he's got his phone out, everybody.
Don't tell anybody I'm doing that.
Okay, I won't.
Talk about Zelda.
Well, for me, playing through, it's interesting. Playing through Majora's Mask and going back to Ocarina of Time, I can say without these rose-tinted glasses, like, I don't have nostalgia for Ocarina of Time in the same way that I do Majora's Mask.
Okay, let's really get into that. What was it about Ocarina, other than when you played it?
There was something, well, okay. You know what? Sooner or later we're going to talk about Joseph Campbell. It was the hero's journey. It did it really well, honestly.
You feel like Majora did it better than Ocarina, is what you're saying?
No, Ocarina was like a straight up traditional.
I thought Ocarina was, but maybe I misunderstood you just now. I thought you said, oh, I think I get what you're saying. Because Majora was more unconventional, you liked it better for that reason?
Yeah.
Or did I totally misunderstand everything you
I
just
think
said?
it's Ocarina perfected, honestly. And the reason I say that is because it improves all the mechanics.
Okay, yes.
Of everything.
Right.
But also, I just love where Ocarina was like this sprawling adventure.
Yes.
This coming of age tale.
Yes.
Majora was smaller but deeper. You know,
I would agree with that.
With the 3-day mechanic, it was less of a coming of age tale and more of a coming to maturity.
It was more intimate.
It was a very intimate tale.
Yeah.
I mean, even looking in the side quest, and it's dark for one thing.
Yeah.
It's a very dark game.
So if if Ocarina is the hero's journey, how would you describe Majora?
Well, technically everything's the hero's journey.
Yes, but come on.
It's the hero's journey part 2, Electric Boogaloo. That's how I feel.
Why'd I bother asking?
Yeah, why did you bother asking?
I don't know.
You should have known better.
I thought you brought that up to like draw some sort of like, contrast between the two. Or maybe I misunderstood you.
Well, you definitely
You definitely misunderstood me.
Brian, I'm not going to say you're wrong, but oh god.
Now look at this.
Oh, I did it. Yes, there we go. Okay.
Not like that.
Oh, this guy will kill us in one hit.
He's about to die though.
Yes.
Oh, we killed him in one hit.
Oh wait, I gotta drop this.
No, I like that. I liked how you were all, what's the word I'm looking for? Ow! Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did, and he liked it. If anybody hasn't looked it up yet,
I wouldn't.
Sonic's Ultimate Harem.
You can't advertise that.
Look, okay. Full disclosure for the FCC, we are not sponsored by Sonic's Ultimate Harem. If you want like 500 chapters of cookie cutter, horrible Sonic fan fiction, then boy, do I have a tale for you.
God. I was trying to think if I've read anything horrible lately.
Look, the first chapter of Sonic's Ultimate Harem.
This is what we're talking about?
It's a bit of a slog. I'm not gonna lie, but once you get past that first chapter, it really opens up and it clips along at a reasonable pace.
What did you think about eating at the cafeteria when we were in college?
You know what is,
Yeah.
as I guess, horrible in some ways that
Yes.
you could see those days.
Yeah.
I actually really miss those days.
Oh, I was speaking specifically about the cafeteria.
Well, you know what? I was getting around to that. If you let me finish a thought
You know
for the
what?
first
I
time
don't
in my
even care anymore. I'm not even interested. I've lost all interest if you like the food or not.
Wow, that's college.
Yeah,
That's actually
you're right.
college in a nutshell.
No, I actually want to make a statement right here.
No, say it.
And I realized what it was about grad school that, as far as like the education goes, it didn't sit well with me. They try very hard. Okay. In my opinion, what I'd hoped for, I get why it's not, but, oh, what is this? Now I'm off.
Oh, God.
Now I'll never get to finish this.
You get
thought.
what it's not, bro.
So the undergrad education, everything's a survey, you know, and in my opinion, you know, if, okay, this is a class that's going to discuss something from 1800 to 1950. I'm just going to give a random range right there, okay?
Right.
So, in my opinion, what I would want the grad experience to be is like, okay, you have two different types of classes. In one class, we'll do the same thing. Like, we'll have the survey from 1850 to 1950, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go deeper, and we're going to do more with this.
Right.
Then you could have one type of class that's a special problem class, where it's like, okay, we're only going to look at 1950. We're going to specifically look at 1950, and we're going to just spend an entire semester devoting ourselves to this special
The broad
problem.
versus the depth.
The
basically.
problem is, grad classes try to give a survey of special problems, which, in my opinion, is you need to do one or the other. They try to give a survey of the research currently going on the special problems.
Okay.
In my opinion, I feel like you should do one thing, or I'm sorry, one or two things. Either one, have a same survey style class, but we're going to go deeper, more in depth within this range. Or two, we can have a special problems class where we look at one specific thing, but we're going to specify that and we're going to go into that. Yes, we're going to incorporate the research that other people are doing, but all the classes that I experienced on the grad level were surveys of special problem research. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, okay, so you can learn a lot about what this guy working over at Yale is doing right now, but I don't really think, in fact, half the time it wasn't even specifically what they were researching, it was who they were and why they were researching. You know, and it's like, that's...
And that's just not...
Now, that doesn't... I'm not saying that that's a description of every class I took, but a lot of it came down to that, you know?
That's
so,
a lot of academia.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm not really down for that.
That's okay. I can't argue with that. I don't think... I think there is a hyper-focus on the research of research.
Yeah. Where does it end? That's really the question.
Where does what end?
The research. The answer is never.
I guess it doesn't.
it never ends. I don't know.
Hermeneutics is what they call it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that terminology right
I
there.
haven't thought about that word in a while.
Right. But it's, you know, we see, on the history side of things, we used to talk about historiography all the time. You know, the history behind the research of history. You know, which, and I don't know, man. Maybe I'm contradicting everything by saying this, but I mean, I feel like, okay, yes, you should use something beyond Wikipedia, but I mean, I feel like if we're spending all of our time concerned with the research itself, I feel like you're really missing the forest for the trees. Yeah, I mean, you should have a reliable source, but if all we're talking about is this reliable source versus that reliable source, why are we even talking about anything at that
It's
point,
a little pedantic.
Yes,
honestly.
it is.
Thank you.
But I thought about that the other day. I thought about that, how the majority of those classes were surveys of special problems. Either give me a survey class or give me a special problems class. But having a survey of special problems, that doesn't do anything.
You're losing the history for the trees.
Yeah.
You know? And given most of history comes from all of it comes from research.
I'm not even only talking about history here. I'm saying this could be any
Just
subject.
academia in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But for me, when we're talking about history at least,
Okay.
it's like you kind of lose sight of what the research is actually talking about, and you're
Yeah.
getting more into how the research was conducted and
Yeah.
who did the research. And
Right,
stuff.
right, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
What? I have more bad news, Brian. There's 118 more of these to go.
These weren't any fun. It was just blocks.
That's how I feel about Link to the Past.
I agree.
But at least these walls are different.
I don't like the walls.
Why don't you don't like how the sheet can decorate?
I'm not familiar with them. They don't look like the walls I saw previously.
You know what?
What?
I'm gonna burn. I'm gonna burn
gonna
all.
burn?
I'm gonna burn all of my credibility for Zelda. Link to the Past. All the Zeldas, all the dungeons
Yes.
feel the same.
Do they?
I can't differentiate them from one another.
No, yes, you can. One's brown, one's green, one's sort of orange. You
Well,
know?
I'm colorblind, so,
Well.
so this menu is perfect for me. But I'll say this: I think that Link Between Worlds,
Mm-hmm.
so Link to the Past 2, is superior to Link to the Past.
I don't like the way it looks.
Oh, it's nighttime, so there's skeletons.
I don't like the way Link looks when he's walking on the wall. It's kind of scary.
You know,
He looks like a living playing card. I don't like it.
all right, now we gotta put on a shirt.
I don't want to wear that.
Representing.
Oh, that's
Click, click, everybody.
that's tacky. That was followed up perfectly, wasn't it?
Did you time that, or
No.
that was just a happy little accident? Oh no!
What's this coming out of the
Keelik,
ground?
what are you doing here?
I had to think about that.
Lu Bu.
I didn't have to think about that.
Yeah, how do you feel about Dynasty Warriors?
I love it. A lot of people don't for some reason. Why is
A
that?
lot of people say that it's like mindless, but here's the thing.
No, I think if you're gonna play something mindless, might as well play something with a history behind it. You know?
Yeah, well, you do kind of get in this weird fugue state when you play those games.
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's-
you can play it. Well, this is what I like about it. You can play it and turn your brain off, but it's still, because it's a historical game, there's still thought to it.
There's,
you know?
Well, there's also a fair bit of strategizing too.
I guess it
in
depends on
its
which
own
one
way.
you're playing. If you're playing 2, there's none. But I
There's-
mean,
Well, what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I think that because I played Hyrule Warriors,
yes,
greatly enjoyed it.
yes.
Fantastic game, but yeah, it's a bit mindless. And are you doing the same thing over and over again? Yes.
Yes.
Do I care? No.
Absolutely not.
But there's a lot of like time management to that game.
That's a good point. I will say with some of the later Dynasty Warriors, depending on how you approached certain areas, it would have a totally different impact. I'll say one thing, though, that I thought was really cool about, I think it was either the 4th or 5th one I ended up playing. The final level of one of the games, when you're about to take down one of the nations, as you're fighting the Emperor, by this point, your character's completely overpowered, right?
Right.
So right as you're going to approach the Emperor, these peasants approach, and the Emperor's like, "Why are you dressed for battle?" And the peasants are like, "We're gonna fight to the death for you, my lord." And you're like, "Oh man!" But your character's so overpowered,
Yeah.
you mow the peasants down.
Yeah.
And it totally had a different effect on them, because you thought "Oh, here comes an amazing final battle," but they went with something completely different.
Yeah.
You're so overpowered that it's not challenging at all, and the reaction you get from it is, "Oh my god,
What am I
I'm
doing?"
killing these innocent people."
Yeah.
And that was that. I thought that was actually really thoughtful, because
Yeah.
I feel like that actually put you in the mindset of being a warlord. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of people think that those games are kind of copy pasted.
I don't think
Which
so.
some
Well,
are probably
not
more than
all.
others.
Okay, actually, I do think so.
Some of them are more than others.
Yeah.
However, there is a lot more thought that goes into them than people give them credit.
Yeah.
Playing Hyrule Warriors, if you play that game, it is so obvious that so much love and care has been put into this game.
Love and care.
Oh yes, that's right. I'm going with that.
And no hair.
Nowhere.
That made you. Whoa. Anyway.
Anyway, let's
Who
see.
lives here?
Uh,
Oh no!
the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, it's even worse.
Whoa.
I would say Mother's Milk is also on my top 10 bottom albums.
You really don't like the 90s.
No, there's a lot of music I dislike in the 90s.
Let's see. The Old Man's Diary. Yes, I'm reading this.
Oh, good.
On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today, I outdid myself. Truly, I created the perfect dish. I call it spicy meat and seafood fry. This recipe not only restores health, but it also keeps me warm, even when traveling in the snowy mountains. With this dish on my side, I no longer have need of that itchy, warm doublet.
I see.
I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contains raw meat and spicy pepper. However, I simply cannot remember what else I used. My age is catching up with me. Sadly, on this lonely plateau, I have only my own knowledge and memory to rely on. Still, if I did find someone who knew the missing ingredient, I would happily reward them with my warm doublet.
I see.
However, it would seem unlikely that such miraculous wish will ever be
Can we kill
fulfilled.
the old man?
If only a supple young
Can we
man
kill him in
could
his
enter
sleep?
my cabin and kill me in my sleep, the way I've always wanted it to end.
Look, the eye reaction.
Oh my god, I do not believe my eyes. Look at all these fireflies.
I see what you're doing.
Ah! I want to catch them. Wait, I'm gonna sneak. You know what's great about this game?
Is Owl City really liked by anime fans or something? Or?
I have no clue.
Okay,
I don't need a bottle to catch these things.
I see.
I think Owl City is more like, hey, I was like 13. in two-
Hey! That's what Owl City sounds.
Could I finish that?
No!
thought?
You can't just cut down trees.
Oh, what are you doing, boys? Oh. Wait.
Ah!
Wow, I've managed to find the one way to fall down that pit. I think that people who like Owl City are just like, yeah, I was 13 in like 2006, and I have great memories about Owl City, and so they might like. It's like a semi-ironic
Yeah.
love, but then it kind of turned into like a genuine love.
What about
of them.
people who like 21 Pilots?
21 Pilots is just like,
I'm old now and things are hard.
I'm in my 20s and life's not what I thought it would be. That's every 21 Pilots song.
You're right.
They came out with a new song,
What's it called?
Jumpsuit.
I thought you'd be silly with it.
No, like they actually came out
Okay,
with a new
well now
song.
say something completely ridiculous.
I'm 20 and I have existential angst.
Angst.
Angst, yes, Sturm und Drang.
I see.
Oh!
That was a waste of space.
Ooh. I wonder what that is over there.
That's Christ being born.
Well, time to get the gold. And the myrrh.
Is that the myrrh?
Bring the gold. I just want to know where the gold at. That's all I want to know.
Hey, there it is.
Hey, you remember that meme?
Yeah, I just want to know where the gold at. I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
How did you feel when you first saw that?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, I mean, what else was I supposed to feel?
Well, I think a lot of...
Could be a crackhead.
Well, that is actually probably what it was.
It probably was.
That is actually...
That was a very good, you know.
That was a perfect assessment.
Oh my god.
That's exactly what that probably was. I think, I think people were kind of within two camps. The vast majority of people were like, this is pretty funny, right?
Yes.
And then it's pretty silly.
I think so.
But then other people are just like, ah, man, what idiots. You know? And I'm like, all right, like... It's a
Really, it was that network's decision to air that I think that's the real problem.
Yeah, they were the ones who were like, hey, this is a story.
Let's put this on the air, you know.
Yeah, this is making the...
What happened to the bed intruder?
What?
Is he still out?
Oh my god, I forgot. What was his name? Antoine
He was not the bed intruder, and if he was, that raises a lot of questions.
Well, that is actually a good question, is what happened to the guy that broke in?
Now, isn't that interesting that me saying that, the first image you get in your head is that dude, you know, because that's what we have come to relate it to,
Okay, what do you think about the evolution of meme culture?
There was a time where to say epic fail meant that you got on 4chan on the weekends. Then by the time we hit college, everybody was saying it.
There's epic fail this and epic fail that.
No, not exactly. But anyway,
you're like, no, that's not where I'm going
let me
at
tell
all.
you something else that's really grinding my gears. What is this business with, like, you know, oh, this is lo-fi, I like this, you know, the production value on it, versus, oh, that's easy listening, you know, I'm not here for that. Like, why does the production value somehow decide how deep a piece of music is, you know? I don't like that thought process.
No, I think there is something to be said about production value. But the number one thing I think about,
Yes.
whenever I think of production value, is "And Justice for All" by Metallica. That whole album.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it.
I think it's some of their best work.
I see.
However, the production value on it is not good.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, even Metallica fans are like, yeah, if they could have, like, re-recorded that, or, like, remastered it or something.
This is funny, because I thought you were about to say something completely different. I've never listened to that album, so I don't know, but I thought you were about to make an argument for the whole lo-fi culture. I thought that was what you were about to
the lo-fi culture?
Yeah.
It's a choice. Like, it's an artistic choice. And
But how about with both of these statements that we've just made, what is this belief that... Okay, so what would the lo-fi culture say? That something is only deep and meaningful if the production value on it is less than, basically.
yeah, that's kind of the indie mentality.
Okay. And so the other mindset is there's only depth to something if it's more than. I'm saying, why does it have to be either one? Why are we hyper-focused on both of those concepts to decide how deep or meaningful something is? I could listen to elevator music and have a profound experience with it, couldn't I? So, I mean,
this is the thing. You bring up kind of this variation on a theme, which is people just kind of really basically saying, yeah, this absolute is absolutely
yeah,
completely 100%.
Yeah,
how
I
it's
struggle with that. I struggle with that a lot, actually. But go on, I'm listening.
And for me, I'm just thinking, it's never been something that I think about. Ah!
I didn't know that was going to kill you. I thought it was going to...
I wasn't recharged.
Oh.
My battery wasn't recharged.
Your battery? I thought that was just going to, like, break into pieces when it hit you.
No, this game will kill you. Like, fall damage,
No.
you just die from fall damage in this game.
I see.
I don't know. That is a reoccurring theme where you come across people who are just
It's a very absolute...
yeah, you're like, yeah, man,
yeah.
it's only this thing. And I'm like, how do you come across all these people?
I don't know, would you say you come across a lot of people who are maybe a little more open-minded, or...
I guess so. All I know is that you just seem to come across a ton of people who are like, yeah, man, it's only this thing, and everything else is, you know.
No. I mean, maybe I do, but I think, you know, I don't know.
Well, then again, you just know a ton of people.
I mean, like, would you say people in general are maybe a little more less focused on those two? Because, I mean, when I talk to people about music, it's like, I don't know, it's either people talking specifically about whatever is, like, radio play right now, or only talking about, you know, this punk group, that punk group, really something off... You know, it's either everything's completely mainstream or everything is anti-mainstream. Everything is completely production value or everything is anti-production value. You know, and I mean,
yeah.
like, what would be something in between those two things? I don't know, Nickelback? I mean,
Nickelback.
No, I mean, okay, you could listen... You could listen... this is going to be something ridiculous, okay?
Sure.
That this is in theory, right? You could listen.
In game theory, yeah.
You could listen to a Kids Bop album and have a profound experience.
Sure.
Right. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Now we can have all types of conversations about the quality of that album, or if it's any good.
I think we can agree that the quality of it is not exactly the best thing that's ever been made.
Sure. Now let's say for instance you heard like a kid hitting a drum, there's no rhythm to it whatsoever, doesn't really sound like much of anything, but for whatever reason, you have some kind of connection.
Oh no, parents have that all the time. What if it's your kid?
Oh, that's a great example.
It's like whenever they bring you these drawings.
Yes, yeah.
And you're like, no one besides me has any attachment to this, but it's the fact that you're my child, and...
That is a great example right there. Okay, so I mean, to say that...
So that could be a profound experience from what is seen as an objectively not well-made piece of art.
I really like Bob Dylan, and it makes no difference to me what his voice sounds like. I like the music, I like the lyrics, in general I like it. But I'll encounter a lot of people who either A, will say, I can't listen to him, I can't stand his voice, or they'll say, I love Bob Dylan, I love how raw and harsh his voice sounds. Where I'm in the camp of like, it really makes no difference to me what his voice sounds like. I happen to like the music. You know what I'm saying?
It's the composition itself.
Exactly.
Not necessarily the quality of the
I think
instruments or the voice.
You just hit the nail. Say that one more time. You just hit the nail.
It's the
on the head.
composition itself.
Okay, would you say that a lot of people focus on different things, or like maybe?
Oh,
not?
absolutely.
Okay, help me understand that.
Well, I think that people just kind of tunnel vision a lot on it. This is the thing, and
Would you say maybe I'm looking at it from a more like holistic picture, or like?
I think that what you focus on is more broad in scope.
I
than anything else.
see.
And we've talked about this a lot, and hell, maybe this is a simplification in of itself.
Okay.
But we've talked about how it seems like the majority of people want things to be simple. And
Definitely.
boiled down to one thing.
Definitely.
And with
I see.
us at least,
Yeah, I tend to reach for the complicated.
yeah, we love the complex stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's kind of foreign to us whenever people tunnel vision on these things.
That is foreign.
So
Well, I guess. Well, unfortunately, it's not foreign to me. It happens all the time, and I'm still confused by it.
Sure.
But no. Wow, you hit the nail on the head right there. Bob Dylan was a great example of that because, like, a lot of people can objectively say they don't like his voice, but they love his music.
Yeah.
You know. So I guess to bring some kind of justification for that, I guess people would have to say, oh my God, he broke the shield.
Oh, Tony Hawk.
That was some. Yeah. Anyway,
I got another one. It's fine. I'm fine.
I'm so sick of that guy. I don't want to see the old man anymore. I want him to take the cloak off and reveal himself to be the king of Hyrule already.
It's not the king of Hyrule.
Okay.
Why do you keep saying
He might not be. I really don't know. Oh, not to the lily pad, so.
The lily pads are concrete. They're
Apparently.
solid. Okay, so we're going to go fishing.
Okay.
I'm gone. Boyce and Brian, gone fishing. There we go. Hyrule ass.
I don't want that.
Throw it back. Well, it's dead, so.
It's from the X-Files game. You try to hand people, like, your binoculars. I don't want that.
Now, again, I just picked those up.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel... we're talking about meme culture.
Yes.
How do you
Off
feel about
topic.
how do you feel about the evolution of meme culture? Because I remember
Yeah, I feel like that could be its own history.
it was
right
back I guess the beginning of memes on the internet. We kind of saw the beginning of that.
there. The beginning of that, like,
was
we
like
go as far
Rage
back.
comics, right? Remember those?
Yeah, I'd say it goes further back than that. To like the all your bakes are belong to us.
Oh,
like,
sure.
you know.
And then it kind of became those.
You remember the
those templates with the white text? You remember?
Oh no, I was about to say what was the demotivational posters.
Oh, yeah,
was what I
demotivational
was,
posters.
Yeah, I think that was around the same time.
And then it kind of came to the point where when someone thought of the word meme, it was like those templates with the white text at the top and the bottom.
What do you mean the white text? I'm trying to remember.
You remember it's like socially awkward penguin.
Like the tie-dye background and the image of some character.
Yeah, overly attached girlfriend.
Yes, I remember now.
All that stuff. And that seemed to have gone by the wayside for the most part.
Well, those weren't that different from the demotivational ones. It was like a meme was like a picture with text. That was like, would you agree that was...
Yes. It was... it was a template, really.
To the mainstream audience, that's what it was. Now, in my understanding of memes, just at the time, like going on 4chan and everything, a meme was something much different. A meme was like a recurring gag that was going on.
Yes.
It was like a recurring, on that, I'm not going to say anything about 4chan because I don't want to be hacked. We're broadcasting right now.
Oh, no, 4chan. I'm okay with 4chan.
Apparently Tumblr's the new 4chan. I never go on Tumblr. I don't know what Tumblr... Well, I know of Tumblr.
Tumblr is its own strange beast.
4chan was the dungeon of the internet. 4chan was the final boss of the internet. I've been told that Tumblr is now the final boss of the internet.
You think so?
I've been told that it is.
Never mind. I think, I don't know. I have nothing against 4chan.
Right.
I think it's fine.
Do you now?
Yeah. I don't really have a,
Do you think Anonymous is fine?
well, that's its own thing.
Well, it's like with 4chan. People are like, 4chan's so bad. I'm like, it depends.
I
Because
agree.
4chan is literally like a platform where you can just say anything. So yeah, there's gonna be people.
That's a good point.
And
Well,
there's-
okay, yeah.
With the anonymity of the internet, yeah, there's.
I would say 4chan is the full realization of freedom of speech. I think that's
Yes.
I think that's a good way to describe it. Which, yeah, I don't really have a problem with 4chan itself. I think 2009 to 2013 there was that fixation that everybody had with like the Illuminati culture, the whole.
Yeah.
I think that factored into Anonymous and 4chan as well. I think there was some belief that 4chan was this all-seeing eye for a while there. That, frankly,
or at least it wanted to be.
Frankly, that's what was appealing to me. The thought that this single website was like the Freemason of the internet. You know, that was.
It's an interesting thought.
It is an interesting thought. Frankly, I think that's why I was into V for Vendetta. Not so much because of that group or anything, but because I thought in my mind, because of that whole culture that film and that book was all-seeing eye related, if you get what I'm saying. They had that same feeling to me, which it's not that far removed, if you ask me.
Mhm.
And that's a whole different conversation, the novel versus the film. But I contend they're two different experiences.
Well, they're about two completely different things in their own way.
Yeah, I
Really.
agree. And don't even get me started about the Wachowski sisters.
What are you doing? Just chilling. We're just gonna not talk about that thing. Let me see here.
I don't want to eat that.
I'm trying to give you. Take my bass. I want you to wait. I want you to have my bass. Okay.
I'm not feeling it.
Never mind then. We're just going to do this the hard way.
Why don't you go somewhere with people?
I'm doing it live.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, there's actually not a lot of people. This is post-apocalyptic.
I know there's a Gerudo village in the game.
I've heard people call it Gerudo,
I see.
and I don't understand that.
I don't like the sound of that.
It's interesting. Just whenever you think that something has been codified,
Yeah.
somebody comes around and is like, no, I thought it was pronounced like this. And you're like, really? What? Why?
Why indeed?
Okay.
It's pronounced lank.
So this is where people usually have the most trouble.
Zelda?
Because as you can see, this place is cold,
I don't like it.
and you will incrementally take damage when you're out here, but I ate something spicy.
Well, how's that gonna help? Does that help in real life?
No.
Oh.
Do not do this at home. So we got about 5 minutes of cold resistance
I
by
see.
eating that.
What's all this wood?
Oh, this wood. Oh,
What happens if you walk in the water?
Oh, you take damage, like, really quickly.
I see.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to drop this like it's hot.
Wait, hold on now.
Wait, what was
Right over there, there's still grass, but over here it's cold. Like,
Yeah.
how's that work?
It's called biomes, Brian.
Ah,
Look it up.
is it really that?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you.
That's okay. Dip your toes in the water.
No.
I was waiting for it.
Love how I start out with no.
Like, what that actually happened in the game? Like,
Oh, God.
everybody would play this game.
I do not want Zelda. I'm sorry, Luigi. I don't want Luigi to be making those noises.
I do. Oh, you were just tempting fate. I want you so badly to touch that water. You're so close to it.
It's tantalizing.
I feel like you're going to. I feel like eventually you're going to just jump in there.
This game's rated E for Vendetta.
How about a nice cold swim?
The book was better than the movie, though.
Oh, you're really going to say that, then?
I mean, for me, I liked it better.
I think they're two separate things. Can't. That's like comparing Majora and Ocarina. Oh wait, we did that too.
We actually literally did that.
Oh yeah. No, I'd have to say because is it a cop out if I say that Ocarina and Majora are tied in my mind? Is that? Oh!
Get on! Get on! Oh, there we go. You see, our health is almost gone.
Okay, you want to talk about mid-2000s meme culture? You say "get on" reminded me of those soundboard prank calls. And I remember the Jack Black prank calls. They just have him call random places, and there was some clip of him saying, "Get on top, baby." So like they would call random places.
You remember
like,
whenever Jack Black was like a really raunchy comedian?
Yes.
And now he's like in kids' movies?
Yeah, he is. Well, actually, I feel. What has he done recently?
He's done Jumanji.
Oh, okay, he was.
He's done the Goosebumps movie, where
I
he
see.
played R.L. Stein.
Well, I mean, even back then, he was already like on Sesame Street and stuff. But then again, so was Ellen.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Now Ellen is seen as like, she's like, oh, I'm like this quirky, really fun, like your mom loves my show. I got nothing against Ellen's show.
She's alright.
Wow. You don't think she's a national treasure?
This game is alright.
This game is a national treasure of America.
I think
don't care
Dragon Force is better than America. Wow. Wow.
Now, talk about 9/11, talk about Dragon Force being better than America. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff.
Who's putting all this in the bin?
What is
Look
that?
at all this pasta.
What is that from?
It's Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, God, I love... Who put this in the bin? I love Gordon Ramsay.
He's okay.
How do you feel about him?
He's all right.
Just all right?
Yeah.
He's great.
I'd like to see Gordon Ramsay as an Iron Chef.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If I had to meet one celebrity,
Yeah.
I want to meet Gordon Ramsay.
What's he gonna do for you?
Well, well, for what? I hope so. I go up to him and he's like, oh, that's just on my show. I don't really know how to cook.
Doesn't really cook.
I'm like, well, that's why I don't meet your
He's
heroes,
actually a
everybody.
very polite person in real
Yeah,
life.
he-
He's like, oh, that's all a show.
Have you ever seen, like,
No.
Kids Hellcat?
Yeah, I've seen pieces of it, and he's
He's
nicer.
actually, yeah, he's, like, really supportive of the kids. And you're like, oh, Gordon Ramsay's, like, a really nice guy.
I think he's pretty.
Well, you look at
Iron Chef, yes.
Iron Hell.
I won.
You look at Iron Hell,
Yes.
and you see him yelling at the contestants, right? But if you think about it, and you think like, man, this guy's kind of an ass.
Iron Hell. That's my favorite Black Sabbath song.
But if you look at it,
yes.
whenever he's yelling at like these people,
Well,
these
those are professionals.
Yes.
They've worked in kitchens before, and they're screwing up that badly.
yeah, you're like,
so-
why are you screwing?
Yes.
Like, no, you should not be messing up this.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of on Gordon Ramsay's side.
No, I can see that.
Now, does he play it for the camera? Yes. However, is it entertaining? Absolutely.
The first, this is funny. I actually rewatched the very first season of Hell's Kitchen recently, and I watched that the year it came out. That was 2005, and that one is a lot more realistic because it's not him saying like ridiculous things. It's him losing his temper, but it's not showy. You know what I mean? It's not him playing it up. It's not, Although the pasta then is hilarious.
I love Kitchen Nightmares.
Yeah, I've watched a little bit of that.
It's a good show.
This is a good show.
Yeah, I walked into that, but it is a good show because,
Dude, you're about to be too cold.
well, in a minute,
In a minute.
literally a minute,
Oh my god. Where's is Tommy Wiseau in this game?
dude.
If he
I
was-
okay. I take that back. I would also love to meet Tommy Wiseau actually,
Oh man.
because okay,
Yes.
people make fun of the room,
Yeah.
but I really do actually admire the guy. You know what? He
He
went
set
after
out
his-
what he wanted to do.
He lived his dreams.
He did.
He didn't just let his dreams be dreams.
Is that meme culture?
Yeah, that's like the in-between. Nowadays, it's like it's like this GIF on the bottom, and at the
Yes.
top, it's just like, me whenever I forget my towel.
Me
after,
me.
it's like me whenever I forget my towel after taking a shower, and it's like this monkey, like, kind of daintily, like, walking around.
It's so...
I mean, it's funny, but
It's funny because
that's the prevalent memes now.
it's so predictable.
That's the prevalent memes now.
You're right. LOL, same.
That is meme culture now.
You're right, it is.
Think about that.
I'm thinking about it. Wow, what a mistake I've
Well,
made.
what are your findings? You've thought about it.
No, I think that you were right about what you were saying earlier, and I'm actually a little bit upset because I am having to face the fact that everybody does have this tunnel vision when it comes to discussing something. Like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
What if I wanted to actually have a conversation right now about, okay, well, this is Bob Ross's style, and this is what he was trying to, put forth in his show. It's like, LOL, OMG, we didn't deserve him. He was so nice. It's like, yeah, he was a really nice guy, but I'm trying to have a conversation about, like, his actual, you know...
Mr. Rogers is in the exact same
He
boat
is.
as well.
Yeah, they've been doing that with a lot of PBS. And don't get me wrong, those are all really great. You know,
Look, I like Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers is a great example about that because I was trying to have a conversation with somebody about how he was trying to incorporate television and education at a time where the two were not really seen.
And the
as,
only thing that people can talk about is, oh my god, what a...
That's
we don't
the
deserve
thing.
him.
That's the thing. It's like
Well, how about
we
we
can
talk
have
about...
an actual conversation.
Yeah, let's talk about the man's legacy.
Exactly.
If anything. I mean, yes, we all know that he's
Dude,
a
there's
really
less
nice
than-
dude.
Oh my goodness! You better get your sweater, Mr. Rogers.
Oh, I'm fine. I don't need it anymore.
Dude, you have 2 seconds.
No, this isn't cold.
Oh.
This ice block isn't cold. I'm getting this treasure chest.
Okay. But anyway,
Anyway.
Boss.
I do completely agree with that, though. Because...
you know, I don't even think it's. I think you're right. You know, I used to think it was people generalizing for a while there, but I think you're right. I think it's simplifying. And you know, look, I'm not saying that everything has to be overly complicated. But it's like, you know, we're missing out on a lot of conversations that we could actually be having right now.
Yeah.
You know, and that drives me crazy.
And what's the irony of it is, it's conversations that Mr. Rogers would want us to have.
It is. Well, I didn't know we were still talking about him, but yes.
Oh yeah,
for,
like specifically him, yeah.
yes.
But yes, that can be applied just in general to things. And this is the thing, is that people get more wrapped up in the personality of someone
yeah, they do.
rather than what they're actually trying to say.
Exactly. Now look at this. There's toothpicks everywhere.
Oh, my resourcefulness. I'm a true hero. What I like about this, here's the thing.
Yeah.
There's... Does it ever irk you in Zelda games whenever Zelda's like a kid or he's a teenager and he's growing up and people are just like, oh, this hero of time, of legend, and no one can piece together that it's him, even though he looks exactly like... if you look at any other like
steak tacos. But
Dude,
anyway,
he's so good.
that's beside the point.
Burrito bowl
Avocado toast.
with salmon
Did that make you feel bad?
made me feel like a millennial.
So how old is Link in this game?
Link is probably like 20.
Oh, I see. Is that what you were getting at? That he's
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
of
at.
an age that it makes sense for him to be.
Yeah, it's like with Wind Waker,
Yeah.
you know, it's like Link coming out in his jammy jams.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, these are the heroes' clothes, and this is just what people wear.
yeah.
Because we like to honor the
I am
memory of the
sick
hero.
of this guy. I want to kill him.
Well, I got good news.
Yeah. Oh, he's never coming back?
Yeah, he's never coming back. That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Nice.
Audible.com. Imagine an X on your map. Oh, I have to use my imagination?
All this was tutorial?
Yes, this is the tutorial.
I see.
The Great Plateau.
Okie dokie.
Well, let's just grab some real quick, because I am frosty right now.
Is he the king of Hyrule?
Why are you...
I think that's who it was. I can't remember.
He says, OMG, Brian, you're so obsessed with me.
Why is he saying that?
Because you are.
Uh-oh. You sound a little upset about it.
Ah! No! No!
You actually drowned?
No, it's because I took all that damage.
Oh.
That was
That
scary.
makes a lot of sense.
That was the scariest part of this game. Anyway, we're just gonna go to where the X meets.
Link sure has selective endurance.
Miss Luigi.
Sorry. Yeah, oh yeah, I saw
Okay,
that one
so
too.
it's
That
the
was
X
hilarious.
where the shrines meet.
I ain't going over there. Stamp.
Oh, I'm so cold.
Why does his voice sound... Hey!
Listen.
No. No. What religion would you say the Sheikah has most in common?
Well, in this one, it's definitely like a kind of a
Really?
Taoist monk kind of thing.
Oh, really? I was
Like
getting a Hindu vibe, actually. But maybe
yeah,
I was...
a little bit of an Eastern philosophy.
It's funny, because I used to... I don't know. I used to think of them as being Jewish, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. Only in the sense, like,
There were desert-dwelling people.
no. That would have been the group. Well, I guess well, a lot of people.
For some reason, I always thought the Sheikah were in the desert.
Really?
I don't know why I thought that.
Well, given that Sheik dressed, you know, with the hood and everything, I could see that.
Yeah.
But, there's enough conversation out there about the Gerudo crescent moon and everything. That conversation's been had many times, so a lot of people could draw some similarities between Gerudo and Islamic culture. But I think it's pretty easy to say that, like, Hyrule being the dominant culture and having a very Western Europe feel to it, I don't think it's too big of a leap to say it had more of a Christian feel to it.
Sure.
So I guess, by default, I kind of thought the Sheikah as being, like, you know, a group that was close but was also outside of that. I thought of them as being Jewish.
Okay.
So,
you know what? That makes sense. I never thought of it that way, but Hyrule does kind of... Hyrule is sort of like this Japanese...
amalgamation.
Yeah, of what Western fantasy is. Which is basically what The Legend of Zelda, the entire series is.
Yeah, I would agree with that. With the exception of Majora's Mask.
With the exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually told that the geography of Majora actually had more in common with Japan than most other Zelda games.
Yeah.
I believe I read that somewhere. I might be wrong. But the focus on, like, canyons, you know, less focus on, like, you know, another game that did that. A lot of the early Final Fantasies had a Western Europe feel to it, but Final Fantasy X specifically was supposed to feel like Japan. That's why the whole game was an island.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's kind of like in Pokemon, how Kanto is supposed to be the Kanto region of Japan.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Johto is based off another region, and Hoenn is based off of, like, the southern region of Japan.
See.
This is the goddess Hylia.
I can offer you great power.
For some reason, I guess this is a Skyward Sword thing.
Yeah, Hylia came after the three goddesses.
Yeah. So basically, this takes place... This is the place of heart pieces.
I see.
So if you get 4, you can upgrade your stamina wheel or your heart
Stamina
containers.
wheel? Ball in a cup.
I'll go with stamina. Because that's how we're going hardcore with this.
I see.
We will have to upgrade health at one point because it is essential to at least have 13 hearts worth of health. Not to spoil anything.
Did you spoil something?
Not quite yet. So, the Temple of Time. I love it. This is the Temple of Time, by the way. Oh! Where is he? Huh. What? What are you doing up there? Here I am. Come up here, quickly. Come and get me.
Why are we going up there?
Because he told us to. Oh. So, wait. Okay. We're gonna scale it like this. What I love about I've played other open world games after this.
Yes.
And it's so frustrating because you can't climb everywhere in other games.
I see.
Climbing and the paraglider were just genius additions to this game.
Oh, those tiles look like they'd be delicious cookies.
Yoshi's Cookies.
No.
Hey, you ever play Yoshi's Cookies?
No, I heard it was good.
Yeah, I saw it at like a movie gallery.
Really? That must have been wild.
Yeah, that's the off-brand Blockbuster, which, 3 guesses how movie galleries go if that's the case. Here we go.
It's too bright.
Well done there, young one.
Oh.
Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramus Hyrule.
Hmm?
So
I
he's
was
King Rome.
Oh.
the last leader of Hyrule. A kingdom which no longer exists.
It no longer exists!
What are we looking at, then?
Oh, he sure is ugly.
Well, he's dead, so...
The great calamity
I'd like to
was
see you
merciless.
looking good in death.
It
he looks
devastated
better than-
everything
no.
in its path. Lo, a century ago,
Low.
it was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile.
So he literally
So
knows that
rather
he's a
than that-
tutorial.
I see.
I thought
Basically.
it best to assume a temporary form.
Your temporary form was ugly.
Forgive me.
I don't. It
I
was
think
hideous.
You are now
Well, this
ready.
form's a lot
sex.
ready to hear
Nah.
what happened 100 years ago.
100 years ago, baby.
I just don't have it in me.
Well,
To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age-long
But
past.
you already
The Demon
introduced
King
it.
was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now.
Oh.
yeah, the Malice lore was in
Stories of
Skyward
Ganon
Sword.
were
I
passed
see.
from generation to generation.
Oh,
in
demise.
the form
yes.
of
Yeah,
legends
demise,
and fairy
yeah.
tales.
all that stuff.
But there was also a prophecy.
Another one?
So many prophecies.
The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground.
Alright.
We decided to heed the prophecy and began
Yeah, they actually
excavating
paid attention to the
large areas
prophecy.
of land.
I see.
It
For the
wasn't
first
long
time.
before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously.
What is this?
They're just all over the place.
This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land.
Is that a camel?
Yeah, it looks like a camel.
We also
pretty.
learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword.
Who
that
could they
sealed
be?
I feel like
It was they
there's
who
some
sealed Ganon away
similarities.
using the power of these ancient relics.
In what? In what?
Oh my god,
100
it's so
years ago,
original.
there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a
I don't
skilled knight
care.
at her side.
A
It
skilled
was clear
knight.
that we must follow our
Is that
ancestors'
us?
path.
Why isn't he ever part of the royal lineage?
We selected
that'd be
4
interesting.
skilled
It'd be
individuals
weird if
from
Zelda-
across high
Yeah,
Zelda
well, if it
and
was
Link were
opposite, yeah.
brother and sister.
Wait, excuse me?
divine beasts.
No, what if, like, in one of the
With
reincarnations
the
they were
princess
brother
as
and
their
sister?
commander, we dubbed these
Yeah, I got the
beings
impression
champions,
that
a
that was
name
supposed to be
that
the
would
case in
solidify their unique
Link to the
bond.
Past, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
The princess,
Zelda
her
is
appointed
your
knight,
dot, dot,
and the
dot.
rest of the champions
I'll show
were on
you
the
that.
brink
I'll
of
pull that
sealing
up.
Oh,
away
yeah.
Ganon.
There was,
When
like,
your uncle dies.
I think that
Zelda is
I actually
your-
think that Ego Raptor made a
Ganon was
he made a cartoon about
He
that.
was sealed with a
Yeah, he did.
Zelda is, oh, he did. I'm looking at it right now. Zelda is my one.
My what? Oh, here it is. So, funny enough, because they heeded the prophecy, it actually was for the worse. Because
I see.
they dug up all these guardians, and then Ganon just possessed
He
all
appeared
of them.
from deep below Hyrule Castle.
Well,
seized control. of
damned
the
if you do,
Guardians
damned
of
if you
the
don't.
I actually like that twist.
No, it is.
Because it easily
Yeah.
could have been me and my hubris. I did not heed the prophecy,
Lost their
believing it not to be true.
Well, I
but
heeded the
instead,
prophecy.
he was just like, you know what? Maybe this prophecy is worth looking into.
No, 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 no!
And it's because he did that this happened.
And thus,
So yeah, Hyrule's
the
destroyed.
kingdom of
I
Hyrule
got
was
that part
devastated.
There's no
already.
Hyrule Town.
It's obvious! What? Why? Did you feel you needed to explain
This
that?
is no. This is like the most
Survived.
messed up part.
Okay,
To
let's see.
face Ganon alone.
Well, it's pointless.
Link,
Thought she was about to
you
start
are
singing
our
too.
final hope.
Like, I was expecting, like...
We are a
The
new
fate
hope.
of Hyrule
Excuse
rests
me?
with you.
Oh. Like, she
That
just
princess
stands in
was
front
my
of
own daughter,
We
I
are
love
the
my
world.
Nintendo Switch shirt on.
Yes.
and the
We are
courageous
the
knight.
children.
who
Should have been in
protected
my
her
underwear
right
for
up
this
to the
entire
That would have
thing.
made it even better.
That knight was none other than you, Link.
What?
You fought valiantly,
His face
When your
doesn't look
fate-
good.
I love that
Unfortunate
Link's. I do actually like
and
this.
then
Do you?
They have Link's
You are
facial
taken to
expression
the
that
shrine of
he doesn't give
resurrection.
too much away,
Here
but
you
it's
now
just
stand,
expressive enough that it's
revitalized
still like a
100
blank slate.
years later.
Yeah.
The words of guidance you have
But
been
yeah,
hearing
Princess
since your
Zelda has been
awakening
trapped.
from Princess Zelda
Basically
herself.
holding
Even
Ganon.
now,
I'm sorry,
as
Calamity
she
Ganon
works to
Yeehaw
restrain Ganon from
in
within Hyrule
containment for
Castle,
100
she
years.
I'm
calls
very
out
happy
for
I
your
have you here to explain what the king
However,
is explaining,
my
because
daughter's
otherwise I
power
don't think my
will soon be
tiny little
exhausted.
brain would be able
Once
to
that happens,
truly grasp
Ganon
what's
will freely
what's
What's
regenerate
true? Without
himself.
Navi, how are you supposed to know what's going on?
From consuming
If
our
I'm not bothered by what
Considering
exactly
that
is
I
happening
couldn't
every
Wait,
5
save
minutes,
myself.
how am I supposed to know where to go
I
and
was
what to
about
do?
to ask. I was
This
like,
will
let's go to Bert and Ernie's house.
Burden or
like it's in the game somewhere.
and you're like, you said we could go anywhere.
You must save her, my daughter.
I'm not
Oh!
Do whatever it
Zelda
takes
is-
to annihilate Ganon.
His daughter.
here. Oh, that's what he was getting at.
That was the point of
Ganon
it.
has maintained
Zelda is your
control of
daughter.
all 4
What?
divine beasts, as well
So
as
there's
those
4 divine
guardians
beasts.
swarming around Hyrule.
Where's your daughter?
Who is your daughter?
It would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point.
he turns back around and Link is like writing all this down.
That you make
He's like,
your way
speak
out to one of the
in
villages
shorter
of the
sentences.
Roses.
Speak more slowly.
Follow the road out to Kakariko Village.
Kakariko Village.
There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that
I don't
lies
want to
ahead.
talk to that old bag of
Consult the
bones.
map on your Sheikah slate for the
How do you know
precise
she's old?
location of
How do I know
Kakariko
she's a
Village.
bag?
Make your way past the twin summits. of
How do I
the
know she has bones?
From there,
You're just
follow
so
the road
dismissive.
to the Sixth North.
What if he actually said that to the king?
That old.
I don't want to talk to that old bag of bones.
It's the only thing Link says for the entire game. Okay, so we're getting the best item
Ending.
throughout the entire game.
Okay.
The paraglider is one of the
Oh.
best things ever made.
I thought I was about to say the plagiarist.
The plagiarist.
Yes.
So we can so here's the game in a nutshell. What I love about this, he's like, I think that's it. I've told you everything I can. Hey, you must save.
Go!
Oh, get out of here! Destroy Ganon.
Oh,
I
okay.
love that.
Well,
Because guess what? That's the main quest for the rest of the entire
I
game.
see. Your inventory's full.
What? Let's try again.
Your inventory's full.
Well, I think next time we're going to sort this out, and we're going to try and go to Kakariko Village. We can literally do whatever we want, but
Can we now?
I'm going to humor the game, and we're going to go ahead.
Jump out that window and die.
Wait.
Okay.
Let me... Wait. Let me... Wait.
Wait.
Let
Let
me-
me. Wait.
Wait.
Let me. Wait.
I
Wait.
don't want to wait forever. Oh, okay.
Can you shoot yourself with the bow? Oh
I
wow.
don't know. Let's see.
Wait. What?
Oh, you thought I was going to fall off?
Yeah, I did actually.
You're that's ah!
Ow.
What?
That didn't hurt at all.
I did, because I glided at the last second.
I see.